Hi Girl Scouts, Betsy Nichols here, Program Specialist for the Girl Scouts of Minnesota and Wisconsin Lakes and Pines, returning to you from Duluth, Minnesota. This video is part 2 of 4 for the Cadette Think Like an Engineer journey. Today I will be guiding you through the second design challenge, but first let's get started with the Girl Scout Promise and the Girl Scout Law. On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout Law. I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, and responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, respect authority, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and be a sister to every Girl Scout. Great. So like I said, this is our second design challenge for the journey, and it is called Camp Cabin. So the whole premise is you have been contacted by a local engineering firm. The firm has a client who owns a local summer camp and would like you to design the new cabins. She would like the cabins to be based upon or inspired by shelters created by animals. So here is the criteria that we need to meet. Your model cabin must be inspired by at least one example of animal shelters. Your model cabin must be waterproof and wind resistant. Your model cabin must contain an entrance. The entrance should allow for a 1/4 sheet of construction paper to easily be placed inside and taken out. And finally, your model cabin must be at least 5 inches tall and 5 inches wide. Okay, so here are our limitations or our constraints. You may use up to 1 piece of cardboard, 2 sheets of construction paper, 2 plastic cups, 12 inches each of masking tape and packaging tape, and any amount of aluminum foil and string. And you can use measuring tape and scissors while you work on it, but the measuring tape and scissors cannot be part of your final design. So I am going to round up what I can from this list. I suggest you do the same, and we will meet back with our supplies and we'll start making a game plan. I'm back with my supplies. This is what I was able to round up. So I have my tape here stuck to the wall. I have 2 pieces of plain white printer paper, no construction paper. I have a piece of cardboard. I have my string, my scissors, and my ruler, and then no aluminum foil, so I got some parchment paper, and then I also don't have any paper or plastic cups, so I'm going to have to do without those as well. So before I get started with designing and building my cabin, I need to do a little bit of research to figure out what kind of animal shelter I want to base my cabin off of. Some ideas could be birds' nests, beaver dens, wasp nests, anything like that. So I'm going to do a little bit of research, look at what different shapes are appealing to me, and then I'm going to make my design and build it. So I'll be right back. I'm back with my cabin design. I was inspired by a bee's nest and a wasp's nest with the hexagon shape, and so I have 2 little doors up here in the front. So let's get our 1/4 piece of paper inside, and then I'm gonna seal it up. And then this is kind of like a rain fly on top. Now, since this is for a summer camp, if it was a hot night out, then they could leave the doors open, kind of like a platform tent. So the test is, will it stand up to 15 seconds of wind, and will it handle 15 squirts of a spray bottle? Now this is this bottle that I'm holding right now used to have chemicals in it, but it has been thoroughly cleaned out and replaced with just water, but I am holding it in a towel because I don't want anyone testing with chemicals. Make sure when you are testing your cabin for water tightness, make sure that you are testing it with just water. So first, if you do have a fan, go ahead and use a fan to test it for its wind resistance. I don't have one, so I'm gonna come at this Three Little Pigs style, and I will huff and puff and see how my cabin does. So, let's see. Pretty happy with that. Okay, and then let's do some water. Okay, seems pretty thorough. So now what I'm going to do is open my doors back up, and we are checking to see if any water got on my quarter sheet of paper. And so it looks like I just got a tiny bit, not even a ½ inch, a little bit wet, and it's not even thoroughly soaked through. So I'm happy with those results. Okay, let's recap what we just did. So we were challenged to create a model of a cabin for a summer camp. We were given limited supplies for the job, and we had to make sure that it was based off of a animal shelter. Like I said, I went with a design that was inspired by bees and wasps. Maybe you went with a bird's nest or a beaver den or a bear den, something like that. All of those are great options because if they are good enough for animals, especially animals who hibernate, if they're good enough for animals who hibernate throughout the winter, then they gotta be onto something, and it's probably good enough for us. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you come back next week for our third design challenge, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!